Hello participant, my name is Purity Kibui, a trainer at the Kenya Education Management Institute. I will take you through Unit 4 of the module on ICT integration in education. We hope that you've already looked at Unit 1, 2 and 3 of the module. Unit 4 is entitled ICT Pedagogy Integration. In this unit, we want to understand more about the use of ICTs in the teaching and learning process. We want to understand how teachers can equip their learners with the necessary skills to operate in a digitally connected world. We also want to examine the various ways in which teachers can take advantage of the available ICTs to enhance learning in the classroom. And therefore, we shall be looking at some of the national educational policies, ICT implementation strategies, and even the necessary ICT infrastructure for effective ICT integration. It is also important that we examine the role of staff development and the school leadership in supporting ICT integration initiatives within the school. By the end of this unit, you should be able to understand the many benefits that come with ICT integration in education. You'll also be able to understand the models that have been used by the education sector for ICT integration. You'll also be able to explain how ICT is integrated in the curriculum and the facilities that are required for effective ICT integration. We shall also be looking at the various ways staff can be developed in order to provide the necessary support for ICT integration. And before we end the unit, we shall look at the role of school leadership in ensuring effective ICT pedagogy integration. Let us start by understanding some of the terms that we have used in this unit. What is pedagogy? Pedagogy simply refers to the art or science of teaching or the instructional methods used to facilitate learning. What about ICT integration? ICT integration is the use of ICT to introduce, reinforce, supplement, and extend knowledge and skills. And therefore, when we talk about ICT pedagogy integration, we are referring to the use of ICT to enhance the achievement of curriculum objectives. What are the benefits of ICT pedagogy integration? There are very many benefits, but we shall examine some of them. I'm sure you'll also be able to come up with others. One, we have increased access to education, meaning that education becomes more accessible to more people because it can be offered through different forums. Two, ICT allows multisensory learning. Therefore, we find that it is possible to engage different senses of the learners, helping them to get more engaged in the learning process. It is also motivating. Learners are motivated to learn through ICTs. Learners are generally very curious when it comes to the use of ICTs. Fourthly, ICTs promote learner-centered approaches. So the attention is no longer on the teacher, but what the learner can be able to do using ICTs. We can also talk about integrative learning as a benefit that can be derived from the use of ICTs, meaning that the skills that a learner learns in one subject can be used in a different subject. Therefore, you find that the ICT skills that they acquire can be used to learn many other subjects. There's also a lot of creativity that is encouraged through the use of ICTs. And this creativity is not only with the learners, but also with the teachers. Learners are also able to do a self-evaluation. So they can do self-assessment on how they have learned the various concepts. And lastly, we find that learners can learn at their own pace. Learners are able to learn at their own pace and to discover the best learning style for them. I would want us to reflect on the following statement. ICT integration is not only an idea whose time has come, but a way of life. Let us think of this statement in view of the way ICTs have changed our lives, have transformed our lives, not only in the classroom, not only in the school, but also in our daily lives. We will now look at the education sector ICT integration models. In the education sector, two main models have been adopted for ICT integration. One, we call it the 4 in balance model. In this model, we have 4 pillars. One, overall policy for ICT integration. Therefore, we are saying that we must have a national ICT policy to support all the ICT initiatives in the education sector. This policy should be cascaded up to the school level. The second pillar is digital content. Digital content must be available for teaching and learning. And this can either be developed by the publishers or by the teachers themselves to ensure that teachers have enough teaching resources when they are developing their lessons. The third pillar is expertise. Here we are asking ourselves, do the teachers have the requisite knowledge, skills, and attitudes for the effective ICT integration in education? How are they going to use the content? Do they understand the policy? So expertise is the third pillar. The fourth pillar is ICT infrastructure. We may have an ICT policy, digital content, and teachers may have the requisite knowledge and skills. But do they have the equipment that is required, the ICT equipment that is required for effective integration of ICTs? And these 4 pillars must be put in place for effective ICT integration. And that is why we are talking about 4 in balance. The 4 pillars must be in balance. In addition, the 4 pillars must be supported by leadership, and it is leadership at the national level, county, sub-county, zone, school, and classroom level. What support do the teachers get from the leadership for ICT integration initiatives? ICT integration also requires support from collaboration. Here we are talking about getting a buy-in from various stakeholders and partners so that they can support the initiatives that are being undertaken by the education sector or even the school. When all these factors have been put in place, then we talk about the 4 in balance model. The next model is the TPAC model. This consists of three components. We have the content, the pedagogy, and the technology. And the 3 elements must actively interact at all times for the full benefits of ICT to be realized. Let us explain further about each of the components. Content knowledge. Here we are saying that teachers must have subject mastery. They should be conversant with the curriculum, the requirements of the curriculum. And this will be derived from the curriculum documents. Do they understand the concepts that are supposed to be taught? Can they be able to promote higher order thinking, higher level of communication as they deliver the content, the curriculum? Pedagogical knowledge. In pedagogical knowledge, we are simply talking about the teaching methodologies, the strategies, the techniques that teachers are going to utilize in order to ensure that the content is delivered in class. How do they ensure that the curriculum goals, how do they ensure that the expected learning outcomes are achieved by the end of the lesson? Technological knowledge refers to the devices that the teachers require to use in order to ensure that the lesson is well delivered. These devices could either be digital or non-digital. So they need to ask themselves,